Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Electoral Dysfunction 2014 at the People's Improv Theater! Put your hands together for your host, Tom Brennan!
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Electoral Dysfunction. At this show, a panel of comedians and experts are going to debate everything going on in the world of politics and current events. And then they're going to hop up and create an improv show making fun of literally everything they've just talked about. It's a lot of fun. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Do me a favor, because I always forget at the end of the show to give a round of applause for Mr. Michael Montalbano. If you feel like grabbing a drink, KK's working over at the bar. Buy something and tip for the well. Please join me in welcoming our panel. Very funny comedian who spent 3 years as a UN war crimes prosecutor. Siobhan Beasley's back. Comedian can catch every Monday night here with high school drama club The Pride of the United States Navy, Nick Markovich. Very funny woman, catch her one-woman show Crying in Public, Jenn Welch. He's one of the bloggers for Liberty Island, I believe. Just told me right before the show, I'm very sorry. Todd Seavey's joining us today. Blogger for True TV, Whitney Meers is back with us. Writer you can catch with Christianity Today and The Atlantic. That's like, wow. That is crossover appeal. Tim Wainwright. The ladies. And lastly, Fox News thinks he's too liberal, MSNBC thinks he's too conservative. Does anybody like Robert Jones?
CNN loved me until I got on that damn plane.
Yeah. God. All right.
Tom Brennan, ladies and gentlemen.
When we hop up and do improv, Todd is unfortunately not an improviser. Won't be joining us for that part, but hopping up to join us, two incredibly funny improvisers. Catch him every Wednesday night with Family Haircut and her every Saturday night with the Baldwins. Phil Wells and Meg Griffiths-Anderson over there. And from there, I'm going to turn it over to your moderator, very funny man. Catch him here every Saturday night at 8 o'clock with Big Black Car, Nate Starkey.
Welcome. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Is everyone having a good Friday? I see what you did there. Let's stealing my jokes. Double crossing me. I got to get them out of the way so that you won't tell them. All right, so let's jump right in. Let's talking about Good Fridays. Is this a good week for Obamacare? Many would say yes. 8 million signed up, registered. Go ahead, Robert.
8 million looks like a pretty good number, if we can believe that number. Well, it's interesting that that a poll, and not one of those loony right-wing Fox News polls, came out earlier this week that had said that 60% of the American public feels that the president does not tell the truth, and a lot of that's attributable to some of the kind of rollout, some of the language that he used when trying to sell Obamacare. And by the way, we also found out that the administration is now changing the criteria on the Census Bureau to assess how many people are actually insured. So,
the administration is changing it?
The administration's Census Bureau, yes, that is correct. That would be correct.
Is that correct?
I don't think that's correct. Well, I think the problem you get into now is you try to look at the independent foundation answers, and some groups are going to take these statistics to back up their points, some are going to take these statistics. I think in general, having tried to read things that don't come out of the administration or don't come out of obvious enemies of the administration, I think at this point, the needle is pointing to success as far as the younger enrollments, the drifting away of the death spiral idea. I think it's pointing to the fact, and I know the other side's not going to concede this, but it's looking like this rollout has, after those initial hiccups with the website, proven to be fairly successful.
People talked about, the president in his address talked about the people who are opposed to the Affordable Care Act are going through the stages of grief. To my mind, it seems like this. We're not! No, we're not! That's it. To my mind, we have anger, denial and anger. I don't know what other stages we've seen so far. Is there another stage that we're going to see? Is there going to be acceptance at any time?
Hopefully there's a stage where you realize it's insane to want more people to have health insurance. The whole problem with healthcare in America is that we buy it through insurance. You buy nothing else effective and cost-effective and efficient that way. The idea that you should buy important things in your life by having your boss give one group health insurance plan to everybody who works for him, and that's the extent of your shopping around for different plans, is completely insane. The goal shouldn't have been to get more people signed up for health insurance. It should have been to get insurance companies out of healthcare. No wonder the insurance companies were totally on board with Obamacare. Everybody likes to treat them as the villains, but they love the idea because they would get more customers.
Would you be on board with a single payer system?
No, it'd be even worse.
Because you want your government to be your insurance company.
They
That makes a lot of sense. Huh?
I drive around on their roads all the time, right?
And they take care of your taxes and they
well, actually,
and your
they
post
fucked up my
office.
taxes.
The roads. Imagine if you had employer-provided apartment purchasing plans, and everybody in your company had to get their housing through one plan picked by your boss.
Actually,
How
I grew up
crappy
in a
it would
city
be.
in upstate New York where a shoe factory built houses for all the employees, brought in carousels for them, built parks. It's lovely and fantastic. So, it's Endicott Johnson City, Endicott.
So what would the alternative be? I guess is what we're asking.
The way you buy everything else. I mean, if you get the employer-provided plans and insurance out of it, just let people pay out of pocket, and costs would probably be drastically lower. Everybody is always worried about the cost of health insurance, the healthcare, and it started skyrocketing in mid-20th century, exactly when regulations started nudging people toward buying it through insurance plans provided by bosses.
But didn't medical technology also advance at that point too, where we are paying for more expensive things and crazier things?
And we're paying for it in the least efficient way imaginable, thanks to the fact that we do everything through insurance companies.
I have to say, I don't disagree with you entirely here. Siobhan?
Cool.
So I used to live in Holland, and the healthcare there was phenomenal, and I have no idea what they fucking did. But everyone was really tall and healthy, and they didn't have homeless people, and I don't know if they killed them off or what, but what I think, I don't know, I think that there's such like a fear of like socialization in America, and when I lived in Holland, like where like it was like very much like a social state, like they took like amazing care of their people, and everybody had education and healthcare. So I don't know why we're so frightened of like government interfering in healthcare. Except for I do agree a bit that it's like incredibly inefficient the way we're doing a lot of this.
Speaking of the fear of the government interfering, we have the Bundy Ranch thing is going on right now, and I'd like to hear from Whitney. Why don't you talk to us about? Is there any way to justify this Bundy guy and his ilk as patriots in this situation, as a libertarian?
I mean, I believe that, yes.
You believe that he's a patriot?
Pardon me?
You believe he's a patriot?
I believe that he's fighting against, like, he's resisting against, like, the federal government coming in and saying this is what we're going to do. And if he's not doing that, then and we're not doing that, then what's there to say, you know? I mean, just think about it in terms of, like, our drug laws or something like that, right? Like, if we applied the same logic that we're sort of trying to apply to the Bundy situation to, you know, whatever the drug laws are, you know, we would really be sort of in a very difficult situation, I think, right? But sort of everybody accepts that it's more acceptable, I guess, in the drug situation, you know? So why can't we extend that logic to what's happening in the Bundy situation?
Now this
right?
is kind of a complicated issue because Bundy has been having this kind of. I'm sorry, I keep thinking married with children. He's been having this kind of this resistance to the government charging him for grazing fees on the land and so forth, going back something like 20 years. Interestingly enough, if we get through tomorrow, this will probably end peacefully, but tomorrow is both the anniversary of Waco and the Oklahoma City bombing. So, you know, if there's going to be a blow up with this situation, it's probably going to happen over the weekend. Something weird happens in the middle of April, and these kind of resistance kind of things. I think
Hitler's birthday probably.
That's and 420 exactly. I think the guy has some of the ranchers in Nevada have some kind of legitimate argument in terms of the amount of land that the federal government owns or controls in Nevada. It's like something like 87%, which seems kind of crazy. You figure, why couldn't they have sold that off years ago? Because when the federal government controls that amount of land, it becomes basically a monopoly in terms of the grazing fee. So there's a legitimate argument there, but he's not the best person to be making that argument.
It's too easy. It's too easy to anytime anybody feels as if they don't like regulation or they don't like what the government does, they pull the I'm a freedom fighter in the tradition of so-and-so, and the Constitution is my ally. And I agree, but he's not the first person, either through eminent domain or just through over-regulation, to where your business is going to be less profitable. I get it, it sucks that your cows can't graze as freely as they used to, and the fee sucks, but it's a little too cheap to kind of try to get this backing of, you know, you're oppressed and you're of the same spirit of our founding fathers. It's more just like, it's unfortunate, but this is the way it is. Kind of deal with it.
Yeah, are you just gonna accept that? Like, this is unfortunate, this is the way it is? Like, I mean, what if, like, they're trying to come down to your door and say, you can't live here anymore, like, something you're doing is wrong? Like, what's your argument against?
Are we making the argument that we should not have public land?
Yes.
Yeah.
The land in the continental U.S., which is ridiculous. So it's like a third of communism right there. And they don't make efficient use of it. There's no reason it has to be that way. Actually, its acquisition of a lot of it started with Teddy Roosevelt, one of the most evil presidents we've ever had. He was a power-hungry maniac.
Bully for you, Todd.
Both overseas and domestically. You know, like, I'll conquer the Philippines and I'll seize all of Yosemite. He was just a power-hungry maniac. We should not follow his example.
So, Tim, are you on board with this, Tim? We need to move more towards, in the direction of oligarchy here, that we need to, like, the richest people should have the land, and the rest of us are just fucked. That's the way to go?
That seems to me like usually this guy isn't very rich, and he's also not alone.
He wouldn't have those cattle going at all if it wasn't for that public land. At the rate that he's paying, he would never be able to buy that land.
His family's been there since 1877, as has the Indian tribe that's allied with him in the battle. And what's interesting to me is that he has the support of his local county authorities, like the sheriffs and the county commissioner. I mean, so this narrative of this lone lunatic who's hasn't been paying his fine is a little misleading. I mean, he's backed up by...
He hasn't been paying his fine.
Right, but he's not a lone lunatic. He's not a lone lunatic.
Well,
if the federal government came into New York City and seized 80% of it to protect a rare species of rat, we'd all be a little upset. And so he's definitely breaking the law, but the question of whether the law is just or not is totally different, and it seems to me unjust.
And there is a history. I mean, you don't have to say that you know, we're going back to the founding fathers. There is a history in this country of defying laws that are perceived as being unjust.
Of course. And nearly all laws are unjust.
Again, I mean, this ties into what we talk about with socialism, whereas sometimes you're going to have to give up for the greater good, and the highways being built where they have to seize land, or Chavez Ravine being taken away from the Mexican Americans to build Dodger Stadium. This has happened continuously when the government comes in and says, we're taking this from you because we think it's better to have something else. Sometimes it's right. I don't think you can blanket it.
Is that good? When Nevada, 87% of the state is owned by the federal government. What is I mean, aside from the place where they have to put away the nuclear waste, what else does the federal government need that much of land in Nevada for?
They probably don't. But the concern is was it the Department of Habitat has decided we're protecting, what is it, the tortoise? The tortoise?
So
No.
you just said they probably don't. So like, why shouldn't we be fighting to say that, hey, this is wrong, right?
Because the tortoise, big tortoise, big T. No, I'm saying, on the other side, a lot of people will tell you that the worth of protecting endangered species outweighs this guy's right to grace his cattle on free land.
I'm simply shell-shocked that you would say that. Or at least there should be some balance. Shell-shocked. Lucas, fuck.
I mean, this is environment versus big business, which is
All right, well,
always.
speaking of environment, speaking of
big business.
It's not big business.
He's a family shop guy.
Okay,
Yeah,
small farm
He's
business.
mom and pop rancher.
Well, okay. Speaking of environment versus big business, we put off making decisions about the Keystone Pipeline today. I don't know. I'm curious what the panel thinks about this. Isn't the pipeline the most efficient, least impactful on the environment way to transport this oil, if we're going to have oil, or is that misguided?
Nate?
No, you're
You
right.
are absolutely right.
You're right.
You're absolutely right.
Good
And the frustrating thing is, it's like on this particular issue, Barack Obama is like morphing into Andrew Cuomo in terms of like what Cuomo has not been doing on fracking. He said he was going to make a decision, and it looked like the State Department was going to come down with the regulations, and then suddenly they decided to back away from it, and now they're pushing it down the road again. I mean, it's ridiculous. Look, even if you want to say we're not going to do it, just frickin' do it. The reason why they're not doing it, though, they don't want to do that, though, is because
It's a political loser.
It's an election year, and they don't want to have like one more reason for for conservatives to come out and vote against Republicans, particularly Democrats, in red states.
You had it right the first time.
My only moral quibble at all with the Keystone Pipeline, although I hope it goes through and efficiently delivers oil and all that, is that some parts of its hundreds of miles of length were completed using eminent domain, and obviously we shouldn't have eminent domain. So that part, I think,
Under your philosophy, shouldn't we all just be out getting our own oil?
These are voluntary corporations. As long as it's voluntary, you can do it singly or in groups.
But it's not voluntary. If a corporation, that doesn't make sense.
What part doesn't make sense?
If a giant pipeline is being built and I don't like it, and a company like
No, you can do whatever you want with your own
As long as you have enough money.
Not with
do it.
other people's property.
No, well, but it would have to go through some people's property who are not agreeing.
Well, that's why I'm objecting to the eminent
I mean,
domain
what's it
part.
going to
So
look
pay.
like? It's going to be like a bendy straw.
It may very well look like a bendy straw. But that's good precisely because I don't want your house to be plowed so that it, or for that matter, a Walmart parking lot that the local council town managers thinks is a good idea gets completed. So yeah, they should either have to pay you what you think your chunk of land is worth, or they will have to build around you and find other people who are more amenable, or do it underground, or find another way.
Siobhan, what do you think about over there?
I actually am agreeing with Libertarian on this one.
Speaking of something else maybe we can all agree on, 420's coming up. And Colorado revenues soaring, crime down. Is there any argument left against legalization?
Actually, there is a slight one, and I say this having been on a fact-finding trip to, so to speak, in Colorado. I visited. Speaking of tortoise, I visited the Terrapin Care Center in Boulder, and they have nice little menus where you can purchase different smokables and edibles and things of that nature.
They are much bolder there.
They are much. Oh, touche! Very good. My young protege right here.
What'd you think? I'm curious.
What?
No, I'm just curious. Like, what?
It was done very.
Did you go by?
I did go by.
Woo!
That's a rather personal question, actually, but yes, I did purchase. And
did you use?
Yes, actually, as a matter of fact, I did.
Did you inhale?
I did not inhale. I ingested.
Oh, you ate?
I ate. I ate. And and it's very strong stuff. And I thought it was just because it's not something that I regularly utilize. However, a friend of mine who partakes a lot more frequently, she was also quite surprised at how strong just like 10 milligram little Medimint is what they call it. And that actually raises, I think legalization is coming, but I think there's gonna have to be, I think, more regulatory oversight, even than what they have in Colorado right now, because I think it really does vary, particularly on the edibles, the strength of the strength
So
of
you
the
want more
substance.
government in our marijuana?
Well, no, that's a great point. And in fact, the taxes that they put on the legal marijuana are so high that it's actually not really undercutting the illegal trade because people don't want to spend so much more money. So there is that balancing.
I think
as well.
a reasonable next step would be to legalize the hallucinogen DMT. Because I was talking to a friend of mine who lives in Colorado and had been smoking some pot, but I was much more fascinated by the fact that when he was on DMT, he sort of hallucinated space aliens. And apparently it's common on that hallucinogen for people to see tiny humanoid figures who want to guide them through the visual hallucinations they're having.
Area 51 explained at long last.
So it'd be nice to be able to legally find out if I see the machine elves as their nickname. Right now you can't legally do that in New York.
Go to Peru and do it.
Though there is one caveat. Northwestern actually just released a rather well-respected study that shows that using marijuana in your mid-teen years shows demonstrable brain abnormalities, and so that's.
But it can't make you any dumber than alcohol, right?
It can. But both of my brothers are huge potheads, and it has been fucking terrifying. Like I think pot should be illegal, but I also think that most drugs should be legal. But I think that saying that pot's like a super healthy thing that don't let the man tell you it's not healthy is so fucking stupid because I've seen like friends and I've seen my brothers get like dumber and lazier and like unable to do schoolwork because they're self-medicating with pot. But I think it should be legal. I just think it's stupid.
You do think it should be legal?
Yeah, absolutely legal. But I think also I don't know. I hate when people are like, well, it's like totally fine if I just do it all the time.
It's the other side of the spectrum, though. Like if you drink alcohol every day, you're also going to be, in trouble, right? But like for pot, I've had friends who've had cancer, and it's been extremely therapeutic for them, So that's why, in a lot of ways, that I think it's like doing a human disservice to make something like that illegal.
I think it should be legal.
Yeah,
But the medical marijuana, there's more oversight and regulation on it than just regular stuff. So I think that's the balance you have to look at.
All right, let's go to a little more heavy topic, maybe. So Ukraine. Let's talk a little bit about that. Again, Obama comes under criticism from certain people on the right about not being tough enough here. This is a scary thing that's going on. Reports have come out that Jews are being asked to register. Have you guys read this story?
Totally
What could possibly have gone wrong?
I'm wondering if that's got to be exaggerated. You hope it is, but what do you?
Well, supposedly the only source for that story that themselves reported later that it wasn't tied to any government officials in the eastern part of Ukraine.
Just some thugs.
And
It was just an old member of the SS.
And no Jews are actually registered because of it. So an ugly, vicious prank, but it doesn't seem to
I
have
suspected.
any
Is Obama being weak, Jen?
I will say, although there might be some philosophical difference between an Eastern Ukrainian style of governance influenced by a Russia that's no longer communist, and a Western Ukrainian style of governance influenced by an EU that's not really social democratic, it doesn't seem like a big enough difference to be worth World War III.
Tim?
Yeah, he's coming across as incredibly weak. I think he.
What should he be doing?
Well, he needs to either write this off as Russians reasserting the territorial sovereignty that they've had since, from the historical long perspective, or he needs to put some money where his mouth is and step up the sanctions and reinvigorate the nuclear defense missile plans with our allies run the rest of the border. But I mean, he set himself up for this with the recharge. I mean, he just is made to look like an idiot over and over again.
And the real problem is that under President Clinton, we got into a compact with Ukraine that said, demilitarize all of your nuclear weapons and so forth. And if you do that, NATO will be there to protect you against a foreign incursion and so forth. And by the terms of that treaty, we should be defending Ukraine's borders, and instead we're kind of just like letting Putin do what.
We're sending them socks. Maybe if things escalate.
That makes the United States look weak. It makes NATO look weak. So.
Although we also promised the Soviet Union in its final days that if they disbanded, we would not attempt to expand NATO eastward, and we're obviously trying to do that all the time. So I can understand the Russians.
Yeah, but we were lying to them.
Nick get angry about this.
It's weak. Like weak. You pick your spots, right? Again, it's the balance of go through the channels, go through sanctions. It's his opponents calling him weak, but they call him weak no matter what. And I'm sure the people on his side say that he's doing a good job. Follow the process. It doesn't have to be the U.S. versus, why I understand the impetus on us as the country, but it shouldn't fall in the spotlight of what is Obama doing. Okay, that's why we have networks and we have groups that can deal with this. It shouldn't have to fall on one man to be either overly strong and possibly escalate affairs, or be too weak.
But he assumed that responsibility. Like that's what you do as a president of the United States.
I understand he's a big part of it, but it shouldn't be the reason why we have the United Nations and such. It shouldn't be this man's fault that the entire world or America is not maybe bearing the entire load.
When has the United Nations ever been the entity that is like guaranteed freedom without the United States actually backing it up?
We're a part of it, but that doesn't mean that we have to assume everything. Why is it there? We shouldn't abandon all hope and say the UN has not been totally successful, so let's write it off.
I'm not saying that, but depending on the United Nations to somehow be the lead part of this network that gets Putin or somebody else to bend to its will. There's never been evidence of that in the 60 years of the United Nations.
But it's a better model. It's
better than what?
This is the organization you want to do that. You don't want it to be every time the United States being that organization.
Just tell me one time it's worked that way.
We did great in Rwanda.
Well played.
But even if it's never worked, the point is you formed it to get there. So even if it's not there, are we just going to say, well, we'll spend the next 150 years ignoring the UN and not letting it do it? Let's get it there so it's not the US. What are you doing right now? Well, what about everyone else? It's not just the U.S. problem. It just gets to the point to where
we're always going to look.
Which, by the way, which is why Bill Clinton, went into Eastern Europe because the United Nations hands were tied, and George W. Bush screwed up a whole lot of things. But one of the reasons why he tried to put together the coalition of the willing is because he realized that the United Nations wasn't going to be effective.
Speaking of effective,
nice segue.
It's not. Hillary Clinton will be very effective when she's elected president, but right now she's having shoes thrown at her. Or is it part of a conspiracy to garner? I don't know. I don't understand any of these conspiracies.
This is ridiculous. The conspiracy is that it was staged so that she would look more presidential,
right?
Based on the fact
that it was George W. Bush who was the last one to let the shoe thrown at her.
But people weren't accusing him of staging it, but they're accusing Hillary of somehow staging it, I guess.
If they were staging it, I don't think she would have been cringing like.
Yeah, right. Also, I heard some stuff today about they somehow perfectly timed for her to have a grandchild now, so that she could talk about her grandchild during the election, and that will make her seem warm. And also, certain Christian Science Monitor, and a couple other papers are asking the question. Will this make her not run because now she has to be a grandmother?
Politics is just like TMZ or something.
Yeah.
There's just no difference between the two. Like she could just be, just a tabloid celebrity.
Are we contributing to this though by giving this power by talking? I mean, this is really so stupid.
I'm not going through the rest of it.
Tom, show yourself. Now, this is exactly the format that we need to be talking about this. Clinton, she ducked that shoe like she ducked questions on Benghazi.
Oh,
yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about this. Well, since we have some libertarians up here, Rand Paul, is he a wedge in the, he seems like, at one point it seemed like his wife told him she didn't want him to run, so he wasn't going to. Now it looks more and more like he is going to run.
Wait, he's a libertarian and he wasn't going to run?
Well, he's a Republican. He's a Republican. His dad's a libertarian. But he courts that libertarian vote, and, you know, he's sort of like the extremist. He's sort of like, hey, I'm kind of your friend a little bit, right? Is he going to put a wedge into the Republican nomination? Look, the established.
Hope so.
You hope so.
Yes.
You're a Rand Paul guy.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's perfect. He's a politician for one thing, so I assume he's a psychopath. But as this class of psychopaths go, he's probably the closest thing to a libertarian, freedom-loving one who wants to actually reduce government power instead of just figuring out his own favorite projects to do with it, like some kind of insane Teddy Roosevelt. Given the horrible other options, he's basically the guy I'm rooting for.
Is he the best option? Is there anyone else over there? Republicans? I keep asking you guys this.
Todd will vehemently disagree with me, but I would not. I would say Jeb Bush should be.
So we're interested in that dynasty continuing.
Bush versus Clinton round 2. Why not?
That's what we want. We want
Well,
Bush and Clinton.
I'm a
to
Susanna
stand down
Martinez fan, but it just came out in the papers this week that she called her opponent a bitch. So I'm not sure whether that, you know, I love that, but I'm not sure, you know, how the Huffington Post is trying to swing that.
It's kind of hip nowadays, I suppose.
Because strong women are great, except when they're Republican.
All right. Hey-o!
I'll take it back now. It's mine now.
Oh, great, great. I thought I would never move this piece of real estate.
Oh, you don't mind now moving out of this house?
Oh, no, it would be on my pleasure. I'm glad you didn't look around too much, eh?
Oh, you're Italian, I hear.
See.
Yes. And you're packing all your bread and your luggage. I like that.
Yeah, I packed it long before you got here.
I pack only sausage and paprika.
Yeah, all your worldly possessions.
I'll give it to you now.
Grazie. It's a good deal for you. You're going to be so happy in this house.
Yeah, I love all the painting you've done on the walls. So many family portraits.
Yeah.
You paint literally on the walls.
Yeah. Canvas is too many lira. The whole majesty of my family.
Oh.
I painted my child and my wife.
Thick mustaches.
Oh, that's a true to life.
It's pretty cool.
They got to wear a paper hat on their face when they make a pizza. It gets in there.
Yeah. Yeah, you can stay if you want, actually. I'll be so lonely.
No, you should stay with my paintings. I got to go. My burro is waiting. Yeah.
Oh, that's a joke.
Chico is his name.
You made your burro Chico.
Yeah, I did. I got to get out of here quick. You buying this house or not?
I'm taking this house. It's mine now.
Good. You signed the papers. I need to get out of here. I got places to go, sister.
You're getting drunker and drunker as we're talking. It's impossible.
I got an insulin pump full of wine.
You're so.
He knows that when my liver gets less of wine in it, it pumps of wine into my liver.
Oh, wait. 30 years ago, I buried treasure here under this brick. Is it still here?
I never dug. My wife would tell me to dig every night.
Still here.
Oh.
Let's see if there's anything in it, if it hasn't crumbled. There it is.
Oh.
It's the statue of Virgin Mary. I built out of cheese.
It's a very adorable cheese.
Dare you call me a crazed loner? owner. There's 7 other people in my bunker, and we're not coming out because we don't believe in your goddamn laws. Not anymore. So go home, Federale.
Sir, I'm just here from the Census Bureau. I just need to know. It's really just an informational visit. We're just trying to, be able to disperse
funds. Take down all the information so you can come back with your law saying I can't marry any one of my beautiful daughters. I don't.
All right, so there's you and 7 in the house. Okay, daughters. Okay.
4 daughters, 2 wives, and a dog.
Where's all guys' dogs?
Wait, no.
Okay.
There might be other people.
Sir, we're almost halfway there. This is really just, there's no repercussions. We just want to know the layout of our state, the demographics. If you would just answer some questions, I'll be on my way.
We don't have any demographics in this house. What the hell are you talking about demographics?
Wow, well, here's your problem. This engine block has got machine elves. You can see their droppings.
Oh. I'm carrying it all the way here. I figured out how to take it out of my car, and it's machine elf.
The reason it's so light is because machine elf poop is lighter than air. Otherwise, you would never be able to carry this.
Well, let me know. Let me know how to fix it, and we'll keep going.
It's going to be a lot of work.
Great.
Requires a witch
Can I go
doctor.
Yeah, Steve,
Yeah.
I understand you've been doing a lot of hallucinogens.
No,
A lot of the customers are telling me that you're saying every single problem they have with their engines or their cars has to do with machine elves.
I know it's not always machine elves.
Steve, I know your boss be telling you that there's no such thing. You don't listen to him. You push the machine elves.
Don't worry about me, machine elf. I know you're real.
There is no such thing as machine elves.
How could you not see the machine elves? Have you never worked on an engine block before?
I've worked on countless engine blocks.
Let's take a look at
War's really something.
Yeah.
Are you a Jew?
I'll be whatever Jew you want me to be. No problem.
Papers.
Oh. What is this about? You
It's technically an informal census I'm conducting alone, but I am hoping to get some government backing if I get enough signatures.
Oh no, that's great. I'd love to help you. Yeah.
Great.
Here they are. Got them all stamped by the DKG.
Unfamiliar with that.
Oh, you must not have been here very long. Are you new to the neighborhood?
I'm new to the country.
Oh!
I am.
And you're already volunteering. That's wonderful.
Well, it's just something I used to do back home.
And where's home for you?
Germany.
Yes, officer. I realize I ran that red light, but you see, I'm a patriot. Pretty much, I have the right to do that.
That's right.
See, I love my country.
I'm going to
so-
tell you something no cop's ever told someone. Oh, really? It's absolutely true. It's the only way out of crime. So you just tell us that, boom. Tell us you're a patriot. We wouldn't ride a red light for freedom.
Thank you, officer.
No problem. It's the middle of April. Crazy things happen.
Patriot! Thank you, officer.
Yeah, sure, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Maybe my client did kill all 12 of those school children, but we have a little ace up our sleeve. I'm a patriot. We rest our case, Your Honor.
I'm pissing on shit now.
No! Did you do that?
Patriot!
Well, my boss built this playground, so he must mean well.
Look, the TARDIS.
Oh, good.
Shit, it's public land now.
He's moving out.
I was here. I live here. That's my house.
That wasn't an edit. I was beating you with a red.
Fucking rabbit thinks he owns
That
it.
was a rabbit. We really gotta get on this land.
This is private land, buddy. Let's
No,
go.
I mean, I live there. You see my house
No, I
right
know, but
here.
it's-
I've lived here for, my family's lived here for 200 years.
Lady.
Your family's lived here a long time, white man. I've lived here even longer.
U.S. government.
Oh. Please tell us.
It happens all the time.
Tell us, which Native American tribe do you belong to?
The Trabaja. A totally real tribe that lives here out in the eastern southwestern Utah desert. And this tortoise is a magical tortoise. He can say 3 puns.
This is an idiot! Okay, how about I just guess your income and you tell me if I'm getting warmer or colder?
Oh, guess my income. Guess what currency my income is. Go back to Washington, D.C. with your Lord and Savior Barack Hussein.
Please, just...
And your balls. Go back with your balls.
Go back. That's right.
Can you just... Oh, the door's open. Oh,
Fine, you open the door. Dog's name is Goldwater. Put it down.
4 and a dog. Was that so hard? That's all I need.
You look like you've got a question.
Are any of you Jewish?
All of you.
This PTA is ineffective. I'm the law at this high school now.
All right, fine.
That's right.
Great, well, I'm starting with this book. I'm going to burn it. Harry Potter, fuck that communist.
I condone it.
Well, I got brownies for the bake sale, and they've got medicinal marijuana inside them. I'm going to sell it.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Smelled some smoke in here. We burning books in this
Yeah.
1/3
Get the
communist
fuck out of here,
dictatorship.
Warden!
Sorry. You're in charge now.
That's right. This is my high school. No more PTA. Ineffective.
May I have one of those brownies, please? They look
Eat them all.
Oh, thank you. And I don't have to pay for them. Oh.
Not here.
Boy, this must be the Grandparents and Teachers Association. This lady's old.
Oh my.
Excuse me, I'm J.K. Rowling. I'm the author of the book that you're learning.
You have a child at this school?
Well, I have a lot of free time since I don't write as much as I used to. I just wanted to say that my book, it extols virtues such as heroism and individuality, and it's exactly the type of thing that children should be reading.
Oh my goodness.
This winch cut this woman high!
Bad news. You're going to have to step down as the president of the PTA.
I won't allow it.
I'm afraid you're going to be a grandfather. You can't do both.
Don't I have the right to choose whether I'm a grandfather?
No.
This engine block isn't magical enough yet. Oh, hold on. I gotta leave it dropping.
Is this for me?
Yes.
This is it. I hear that they're magical.
Lighter than air. Look, Sheila. I got an offer from a bigger engine block. I can't be your magic elf anymore.
No, we were in this together. I mean,
I lined up a
DHT.
substitute. Look, it's gonna be fine. You're gonna love the guy replacing me. He's my cousin Ed.
No, we were in this together.
He's just as magical as me, Sheila.
Hey.
That's great.
I got 3 points, so you can see 2.
Oh my God, this is terrible.
No, it's right. It's right.
Oh.
We're into boxing.
Yeah, no, baby, come on. Oh, got a clue. Hold on. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to propose may seem radical, but according to my cousin Gary, we have no need for foreign oil or nuclear or solar anymore. We can power our nation's energy needs via magic elf droppings. That's right. That's right. They are a limitless, they are a non-CO2 gas dispensing source of energy, and they can power all of our needs for the next infinite years. Any questions?
I don't want any of that magic elf poop in my backyard. I ain't gonna let the government take any of that and put any of that poop in.
So I'm a patriot.
Yeah, come on in. There's one of us and there's 2 of us. It's here, census. Write it down.
We're not gouging the place from realtors in the neighborhood or anything.
No.
Are you 2
married household? Do you have different accents?
Come on in, have a dinner. You don't worry about that right now.
Impossible to tell. With
Household is a household is a household, okay? Two widows.
Maybe a little Russian. You can appreciate a good sausage.
Oh, it's spicy. It's got some kick. It's
Maybe you'd enjoy a little bread. They're made out of little.
I gotta be honest, most people are either very curt and dismiss me immediately or don't even answer the door. This is unexpected.
This is so our country now has 1-2 population.
That's all right.
This is
three.
Three is not as lonely as 2.
That's right. John Ritter.
John Ritter. Yeah.
Three's company.
Yeah, we just got that. Just got it.
He's so funny.
I got the time.
I can't wait to see what he's up to next.
Oh, Mr. Roper. Hey!
I love that
So you tell me you're on the playground.
Yeah.
A turtle just kind of sidled up to you.
That's right.
A hare ran by.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then a turtle told you 3 puns. What were the puns?
First of all, middle of April's fucking crazy. It just happens all the time.
Doesn't sound like it.
First of all, you already said it. Second of all, I wish I could have him right here, right now.
Who's throwing a shoe at me?
Just a touch. Help me, magic pun turtle. Give me what I need. Give me 3 puns. Make them related to the worst carriages in New York City.
Nay, I can't do that. Why? We need a more stable solution. We're hot to trot though as it is. 2. Maybe that kind of band would work in Philly. Fool me twice. Bureau of Bridge Management employees, assemble. Love the energy. Now you're probably wondering why I called you in today and why you're all receiving 6 figures for this job. And why we own 80% of the fucking land. Because we deserve it, damn it! Because we deserve it, and because of a little thing called elves.
I don't understand.
That's right, you've heard of elves, ever?
Well,
No?
I've heard of elves.
Yeah, Santa.
those are rolling.
That's right, I remember you from the academy. That's right. Well, I'll let you know that excellence is rewarded here. The reason the federal government takes such an interest in this land is because it's the last living colony of elves.
The North Pole.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
Right.
Please, go figure.
Boss, I don't want to interrupt.
I can see Alaska from our house.
Boss, I don't want to interrupt. Or you, Robert George. Here comes one now.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my
That ugly ass thing?
Gary, please introduce yourself.
Oh, sorry, she called you an ugly ass thing, Gary.
Hello, decision makers. It's true, I am an elf, and
You don't sound like an elf.
Show some respect! This is protected land. I suppose it's deemed necessary that I survive and live to procreate and fulfill the entire United States with magical elves.
That was really well prepared. Thanks, sir. I like that.
How do we know he's just not a really short guy?
Yeah. Where are the presents if he's an elf?
It's a daffodil for you, sir.
Well, that's definitely an elf.
The North Pole?
Tell me what I'm thinking right now.
You're thinking that you were wishing you were at home watching Orphan Black.
He knew, only an elf would know that.
Hey,
Yes.
I need a renewable home.
Funny you should say that.
Are you getting more and more intoxicated?
Would you take a look for us?
Would you please?
Would?
Whoa, he just doubled in size.
He must be one of them Holland elves
Oh
that
my
get super
God.
tall.
He pooped out a tortoise.
Oh! Behold, energy independence for America! No shit!
Slow day on the tortoise ranch.
You know, sometimes I wonder if it was worth it to kick those 45,000 people out of their homes just so we could run our tortoises around this town.
I think the same thing myself. Then I look at Tortoise Bebe in the eyes and it says, if you hadn't branded me, I belong to nobody. It's worth it. I brand every egg. Other day I was branding a tortoise and it kicked me right in the foot. Worth it. That's my tortoise now.
Worth it for just the puns, yeah?
Ah, the tortoises tell great puns. I'd love to hear one of them tortoise puns right this moment.
Hi, excuse me. I'm J.K. Rowling. I live on the farm next door.
Yeah, I know who you are.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but your tortoises have been grazing on my land, and they've been defecating, and it's kind of ruining my crops for the season. If you could just kind of control them and keep them over on your side of the farm, I'll
tell you what you control. Your mouth, woman. Why don't you get off my property and go fuck a house elf?
Toss her in Potter's Field.
That's right, tortoise. That's right, tortoise. Good pun, tortoise.
Oh, Potter's Field.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Detective knowledge.
Saw a nice house that the shoe factory built, huh? Yep. It's weird, I thought it would be a shoe.
I know.
Dumb, I guess.
They don't like being so literal, you know?
You know what, I'm gonna be honest, I'm disappointed this is not a shoe.
Because you think, I mean, really the literal thing, if you're going to build a house, the literal thing is to build a house. Right?
I would say it was literally to build a shoe that you could live in.
Yeah.
Hey, shoe factory boss here. How you doing, ladies?
That's super awkward that you just walked into her house.
Well, I'm the boss. I built the place. Anyway, we got you some stuff for your feet. I bet you can't guess what this is. Nail polish.
Why is it not a shoe?
Nail polish.
Giant bottle of nail polish.
Enjoy that. Hey, have fun in this house. We built it real good for you.
I think you should probably get out of here. This is really
I got more
weird.
things for their shoes, guys. We've got everything anyone wants for shoes. We've got 2 pairs of socks. Just for you.
Yeah, put those on and love those.
Yeah.
Socks that are already kind of...
Hey, you know what else we got for you? This is straight from the shoe factory.
Tell us.
Cogs from the shoe factory machines.
Yeah. Now they don't work so good anymore.
Yeah. But you earned them.
Yeah.
I think we should get out of here. Upstate New York is weird enough.
It's
as
really
it is.
weird. It's really weird.
Hey, you can't get out of here. We built this house for you.
We built this whole town for you.
We're stuck.
Forever.
Now, together. Oh, we don't have to talk at the same time. I thought that would happen.
Oh.
Hi.
Are you Jewish?
Tonight, thank you to Todd Seavey, wherever you are in the audience.
In the back.
Hey, there's his voice. Control a room. Thank you so much to all of our performers. Just want to say a few words. This is our 20th show.
Oh. And our 4th best show.
We have 1,000 people to thank. I can't thank them all, but I do want to quickly say thank you to Joanne Harris, who composed our show theme, to Declan Shalvey, Jordy Belair, Clayton Coles, and Christoph Jamay, who designed all of our show art over the past few years. Thank you to specifically to Nate Starkey, who I developed this show. And Mr. Robert George, who's been a part of every single one of these shows. Devastating your credibility. I wanted to say a few words. I've been thinking a lot about what this show means to me. We've done 20 shows. We started in the fall of 2012 during the presidential election. And I'm so incredibly proud of everything we've accomplished in that time. The show means a lot to me. About a month ago, I lost my job. And, thank you. That's what I said that same day. You're being like, oh. And you know, I just wanted to. All right, seriously, I'm serious. Thank you. That was good. And I think anyone who loses a job knows how scary that is. For so many of us, you know, the job becomes an identity, a home. As I was going home the day that I lost my job, there was a gentleman on the subway who could be generously described as a crazy person, who was shouting all sorts of horrible things about the government. It was not Todd. I was thinking, as I saw that man, it was almost maybe an hour after losing my job of 7 years, and I thought to myself, you know, just how lucky I am. Not just because I'm not a crazy person on the subway yet, but because, you know, the greatness of America is that you can lose almost everything, but you always have a voice. You know, you will always be able to say what you think. You know, and that crazy man is this show. You know, it is a chance for everyone to stand up and say what you think, what you feel, and you know, the thing we do here that I'm so proud of is, you know, just allow you, if you have something to say, and I know you do, you can get up here, and if you have the courage and the honesty to say it, amazing things can happen, as can happen on this show. I am so proud of this show. Thank you very much to all of you for being a part of it. Thank you all for doing it. This is your show. USA! 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 We will be back for show 21 next month. Thank you very much. Have a good night.